We do need digital money, but without that overhead. Today in B-Town Reddit Stories, I'm Bill Gates, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and author of How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. Ask me anything. Hey Bill. How do you think seawater desalination will impact the issue of global water shortage in the coming years? Answer. Yes. We have lots of water. The problem is that it is expensive to desalinate it and move it to where it is needed. This is all about the cost of energy. The cost is prohibitive for agricultural use of water. New seeds can reduce water use, but some areas won't be able to farm as much. Hello Mr. Gates. Do you still code on your computer? If so, how often? If not, have you gotten rusty? Thanks. Answer. My code no longer goes into shipping products, so I am rusty. I do like to try the new tools to understand how they help. I just did a review of the low-code tools where there is a lot of great innovation. Hey Bill. Why are you buying so much farmland? Answer. My investment group chose to do this. It is not connected to climate. The agriculture sector is important. With more productive seeds we can avoid deforestation and help Africa deal with the climate difficulty they already face. It is unclear how cheap biofuels can be, but if they are cheap it can solve the aviation and truck emissions. What niche technology do you believe could play a significant role in the future in the battle against climate change? Answer. We need a lot of technologies: synthetic meat, energy storage, new ways of making building materials. We want to be open to ideas that seem wild. Fusion might come along, but we can't count on it. What one piece of advice you would give to a 19-year-old? Answer. You should learn about climate change. It doesn't need to be a full-time thing. You should pick the job you care about and feel you can contribute to, but also have goals that aren't just about your own success. Any comment on the opinions of r/conspiracy about you and vaccines? Answer. I am innocent. The whole thing about 5G and microchips is pretty crazy. Why would I want to do that? I do believe in vaccines which have performed miracles. My 2015 TED Talk was more viewed after the pandemic than before, which is too bad. I hope my 2010 TED Climate Talk is viewed more before the problem gets bad. Hi Bill. It's well established that you bring a large tote bag of books on trips and usually finish them all prior to returning home. How are you able to focus and absorb so much information, especially when, I assume, the main purpose of these trips isn't usually reading? Is there a specific note-taking strategy you use? What exactly do you write as you're taking notes? I've been trying to read more during the pandemic and sort of succeeding, but at times I find myself looking at words and not absorbing their content. This is partially due to ADHD, but I think learning to take notes will help. Thank you. Answer. On vacation I get to read about 3 hours a day, so I get through a lot of books. I only take notes on about 20% of the books I read. It takes me at least double as much time when I write notes, but for a lot of books that is key to my learning. What book have you most recently read? Answer. Obama's autobiography is good. Overstory is a great fiction book a friend got me to read. I just read Hot Seat about Jeff Immelt running GE. I am starting Hawkins' book called A Thousand Minds. Next will be Jurgen's The New Map. Hi Bill. What do you think is a reasonable percentage tax rate for the extremely wealthy to pay? Either on their income, gains, or total wealth? Answer. I have pushed for the estate tax to be higher. I think it is an effective tool for revenue and avoiding dynastic wealth. I have a piece on Gates Notes that talks about more progressive taxation. You can tax income up to 50%, but once you get much above it you have to worry that people waste a lot of time getting around the taxes. Each country has to consider what works for them. I only know the US system, and it can be somewhat more progressive. If you want to support our new channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. We would also love to read some feedback in the comments. Thank you very much. I live in a mid-sized city in Canada, Winnipeg. What are the most effective things I can get my local government to do that will have a positive impact on climate change while being cash positive or having a tiny green premium? Answer. Electric buses are becoming economic. There has been an issue with cold and hot temperatures, but that is being solved as the demand scales up. Cities are often involved in electricity generation so they can help drive demand for clean generation. How do you think the PR problem of nuclear energy can be solved? Answer: I hope so. Nuclear has had real cost problems as the systems have gotten more complex. A new generation that starts over and gets rid of the high pressure is needed. Explaining how the new safety systems work will be very important. The actual record of nuclear isn't bad compared to coal or natural gas, but we can do better with the new design, which can be inherently safe. What is your favorite comedy film? Answer: obscure film. It's a mad world. Hey Bill. I will be doing my first internship this summer as a software engineer for a well-known bank. I am a little nervous and really want to perform well. As a successful figure in the tech industry, do you have advice or insight for a young intern going into the tech industry? Thanks in advance, and thank you for all the good you have done in the world. Answer: you can surprise people by learning a lot about the company and its competition and its systems. If you are helpful and friendly, you will likely get good mentorship from the experienced employees. I think you can be open about your nervousness, and a reasonable company will embrace your honesty. How does it feel to know that a creation of yours, Windows, completely changed the world? Answer: I am proud of Microsoft and the work we did on great software and helping the digital revolution. It was fun to be part of it. I actually enjoy my current work on global health just as much, but it is different. Hello Mr. Gates. How long did it take you to write your new book, including researching, interviewing, and the general writing process? Thanks for taking the time to do this. Answer: I had a lot of help from my staff, including Josh Daniel, and I was able to draw on all of my learning about climate from over a decade. I would say it was 2 months of full-time work spread over a year, including a big edit this last November. What's the best scenario if we do nothing about climate change? Answer: it gets worse over time and natural ecosystems go away. The migration away from the unlivable areas around the equator will be massive. We won't be able to support a large population if it gets a lot warmer. How misinformation, disinformation, and fake news can do damage to society. Answer: this is a huge issue. Some false information is more interesting than the truth, so digital channels seem to magnify echo chambers with bad facts. I haven't seen as much creativity on how we solve this as we need. Thanks for doing this IAmA. What do you think are the most important things that regular citizens can do to decrease their carbon footprint? Answer: your political voice is the most important thing. Getting educated and convincing people of all political parties to care will make a huge difference. Then you can consume less, and when you do consume, buy green products like electric cars or synthetic meat. You will also be able to give to a fund to help with this. Another area is to make sure your company is paying for offsets and doing its part. If you want to help, there are ways everyone can get involved. Do you think lab-grown meat will become widespread and replace livestock? Do you have experience with lab-grown meat? Answer: if the cost of making synthetic meat comes down, it might be competitive even without considering climate or animal welfare. There are two approaches: one is growing the meat in the lab cells, the other is using plant material to make the meat. Right now, the plant approach used by Beyond and Impossible is cheaper. I hope we can reduce emissions from cattle also, since a lot of people depend on the value of their livestock. There is some research on this. Hello Mr. Gates, do you think crypto mining should be banned globally due to the energy costs involved? Answer: I have a lot of issues with anonymous money transfer compared to attributed systems where you can dispute and reverse transactions and make sure taxes are paid. The electricity use is just one issue. We do need digital money, but without that overhead. Hello Mr. Gates. I am curious about this: how do you cope with hate, theories, and conspiracies about you? Thanks for doing this. Answer: I get both positive and negative feedback for my work. Intelligent criticism is helpful. If people have ideas about how to solve climate that are different from mine or better solutions for global health, I want to hear about. Just personal attacks don't move things forward as much, but I don't let it stop me. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.